Okay, folks, I've done the roof now, and I've put a couple of shade cloth mats in there just for the worms to get under if they want to. And that makes it easier for collection if you want to just collect a few worms, lift a mat, and there might be some stuck to it sort of thing. So this is the roof. I wouldn't mind get some sort of ram thing, get a bit technical and do a lift up sort of thing. And I've got to remove this stick off the tree there and probably cut away a bit of that stuff to get the lid up a bit higher. But anyway, that's not a big thing. Now, what is important, not to be confused, I've done 2 previous videos. I recommend if you want to see how I've made this thing, go back and probably look at those. There's plenty of others on YouTube anyway, so whatever. If you're interested in building something like this. Now, I've gone to some worm groups and that on Facebook that I've also joined, and I'm learning myself better methods and stuff. Now, really, you only need 8 inches of soil, for your worms, all right? So you don't need it this high at all, especially if you've got kids and that and you want to get them involved. You might want to cut it down like maybe to this rung here, this one here, or even this one, or halfway in between, something like that. And do the same thing, basically. But it makes it easier for the little ones and that to get around the farm, reach over and, help. Another thing is, with kids and that, it's probably not a good idea, because they're always going to put fingers in their mouths and stuff like that. I guess that's just the way it is. But, be careful of what you're putting into the farm. Make sure that it's reasonably safe, all right? Try not to use chlorinated water. If you can get water from another source, river water, dam water, rainwater, whatever, you can get, try to use something like that rather than treated water. If you use treated water, you probably want to use some other stuff to get rid of the hardness and other stuff in it, like they use for fish tanks and that. Okay, now, all that said, my idea is to actually build another tank, because this is just a start, and I'll have another one there. And what I intend to do is, see, I've started this off nice and low, so we're down about 8 inches or whatever, maybe 10, 12, but that's not bad. So the worms live in there, and as that fills up with castings, then I just build it up and the worms keep coming up towards the top. When this bin is like just about full, I will then take the top 8 inches off, which will have all the worms, and I'll put that in the other container. I'll start a new one, all right? And then with this one, what I've got to do is put a container down under below that tap, and then I need to catch from that. In actual fact, the winery didn't give me the spout thing. I've got to get one of those, and I might have one in the shed, but I'm going to go back and ask for that. The spout thing for there to go into the container, and then I want to use a fish pump to pump that liquid back and up and over, and I've got to make some little micro sprayer system that'll sort of like maybe use one of these sort of frame lid things for the micro sprayer system, even attach it to this one possibly, just a couple of runs through there, and then I can have that cycling around over the castings, all right? That's just the castings on their own. That'll come around and cycle over that. And then what'll happen there is I'll add a liquid solution of warm, like molasses, into the container where it's coming out. That'll get sucked in through the pump. I'll just do it gradually so I don't block the lines and stuff and the micro sprayers. And then that'll go in and over, or I could just pour the solution over the castings, you know, and then the spray action will drive that down through the castings, and it will end up in the mix anyway and cycle around like that for 2 days. That way, that solution, the casting solution, has been aerated with molasses, and then that is how you make your worm tea, all right? So I'm trying not to confuse the situation. The first, or whatever it takes, you know, the first lot of liquid out of here, the first couple of tanks of liquid out of here will be discarded. It has no purpose, no nutritional value to your garden or anything. In actual fact, it could be harmful depending on what you use up in the top there. So what you're feeding and all that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, it's all, you know, part of everything, you know. I'm not putting any dog waste or anything like that in this farm. There is no poo or anything like that going in this farm. No chicken poo. In fact, chicken poo is not a recommended thing. It's well, it's very high in alkaline, you know. Anyway, you don't want that, all right, in a worm farm of this kind. In any worm farm, as far as I know, it's too powerful for the worms. They can't digest. They can't do anything with it. It'll kill them. Anyway, so keep that in mind. Yeah, but this is it. This is where I'm at the moment. So I'm almost there. And the worms are just doing their thing at the moment. I don't have to do anything at the moment. I just got to feed them every now and then. Give them something to eat every now and then. Keep them happy. That's all I've got to do right now. And the rest I'm going to work out. It's a learning process as I'm going along as well. Well, now it's become that way. When I had this one over here up and running before, I did do the molasses and the aeration thing. But what I didn't know was I had to do it with just plain castings and not just the water that was, you know, that was coming just through the soil and the fertilizer, you know, the soil, sorry, no fertilizers in there, the soil that was in there, you know. I always drop the first couple of tanks, but in this one, a couple of tanks isn't much at all, really. Yeah. So this one here, I'm just going to keep that one aside. You can use that one to experiment or with, or, you know, even just for worms, for like easier access for fishing and stuff like that. This one here is going to be for the castings and the tea, really. And yeah, the other bin will be there, and I'll just rotate them back and forth in the same fashion every time, you know, like I do it. And I don't expect to really, I don't know how long it's going to take. 1 kilo of worms, in 2 months you'll have 2 kilos of worms. In 4 months you'll have, you know, like 4 kilos of worms, you know. It just goes like that, supposedly. So it doesn't take long for these worms to really evolve and, you know, get active. All right, there you go, folks. That's my 3rd video on this subject about this worm farming. And it'll be probably a while before I make another one because I'll have to have something else going on, and it's going to take time now. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.